Namaste. It's the Spiritual Daywalker, hashtag Schrodinger's cards, with your tarot card reading for the next new moon phase from 28th of July until 12th of August. This is going to be a new moon in Leo. So, Libra, it's probably that you are kind of roaring, lashing out at people in situations where you calmly want to put things into balance. So, probably you're going to find yourself in some situation that need balance of the Leo kind, and you think about or very consciously work through how you want to solve those situations. Because Libra is a balancing energy, by no means balanced from the get-go, so you're trying to balance whatever is underrepresented. That's what you're going to take on, right? So you're going to find yourself in situations where a little fire energy is needed, and it ultimately poses the question how you want to embrace that fire within you, how you want to take on that fire energy. That being said, I don't do love readings. If love comes up in a reading, that is on you, because you are projecting it into your reality, because life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I don't want you to project anything into your reality that is not supposed to be there just because I say so. Also, I'm kind of sorry that I missed the full moon Capricorn, but I was in the full moon energy. I was setting up my website, daywalker-bali.com. Check it out, daywalker-bali.com. This is where I'm gonna also put up the tarot framework concept, piece by piece by piece, the more it gets to the finish line, because I'm gonna replace the Rider-Waite. I'm gonna streamline the entire tarot deck framework, get some cool illustrators in to seal the deal, and just refine the Kabbalah. This is what I'm working on right now, and it's a lot, so never mind. I'm sorry I missed the full moon. I'm a little late for this one also, because it already happened, right? The new moon energy already caught you, and you've probably already been lashing out at some people about no, this is not the way to do it, whatever. Let's see in your spread. We're going to do the DNA spread, so we have the spirit axis in the middle from Kether, the 0, the God consciousness, into manifestation, the 10. So, and around it, the energy is balancing out. Let's see your reading, how this plays out for you. You are in a healing phase, and it's all about the balance, right? So temperance up there is you recreating or regenerating balance, bringing balance back into your being, right? And therefore into your life. Now see how you go about this, right? Maybe it's not even lashing out. You seem very in touch with your emotions, or at least that is in the spot of your challenge in the 9 right here. There's a Son of Cups. The Son of Cups, it can mean love coming in, or you being confronted with love. I don't get it as a new love though. I get it as moving out of love, like love being the motivator for your actions, right? Or basically that is what you're striving for in this phase. In the manifestation part, there is some more love. There is a 2 of Cups. So you are very much committed to whoever you're dealing with here, you mean well by them. And as of now, there is no anger whatsoever. It's all about being emotionally available and owning that part of your personality, that you're able and capable of doing that. Very freaking beautiful. Let's see how the energy is balancing around. In the spot of the 1, there's a 4 of Pentacles. Just funny, someone else had it in the spot of the 1. The 4 of Pentacles is about stability in this reality, and sometimes holding on to that stability a little too long, like being too controlling about elements that are supposed to shift. So there's an upside and a downside to it, but in general it's a very, very beautiful energy to be in, because it means you are in a good place. Probably financially you feel like it's stable, the system you created, right? It's balanced out by a 10 of Swords in reverse though. So yeah, it seems like you're finally at ease with whatever you manifested in your life, so you can get out of your head about doing shit right and whatever, and all these mindsets that are kind of, stressing you out. You're moving out of that stress, maybe because you actively decided against the stress, but most probably because because you managed to have some sort of stability, or the feeling of stability. Someone is providing that. You are You just opted for it, right? You're just like, okay, actually, I'm doing well right now, and I can rest in that thought, so I don't have to entertain all these other 9 thoughts that are kind of stressing me out, only when the matters are pressing. See, in the spot of the 3, there is what you get from it. That's the Ace of Cups. That is finding love within you, right? It is overflow of emotions, yes, but this all seems so very positive, like you being in a stable place with the 4 of Pentacles. And I don't get it as a negative thing here, because it is counteracting something like coming out of a negative energy, or negative of a stressful energy, right? So the stability balancing out this coming out of stress, and in the middle what you get from that is the Ace of Cups, which is an overflow of emotion, and in that case very freaking positive. Like you're finding back your trust in the universe, that it means well, that things are going well for you and your loved ones, right? And that is basically what's happening inside you at a soul level. It's like you finally find yourself at ease with the situation, easing out your energetic body in a sense, right? You're kind of uplifting energy right there, very fulfilling, right? So the Ace of Cups is going to a Son of Cups, is going to a 2 of Cups, right? That is an amazing progression for a temperance determined phase of your life, because then the temperance is not so much about healing, because everything is about healing when it comes down to it. It is really about re-embracing that balance, like bringing that balance back into yourself and therefore back into your life. That's exactly it. And the 4 and the 5, there is the Strength and the Chariot. Holy shit, like you are so determined and so positive about what is happening right now. So there is that line where you just decided against stressing out, where the Chariot is like, fuck that. Whatever life throws at me, I always come out on top because of that strength. So, and then in the middle, there's the Son of Cups that you gain from that. It's like, I can be emotionally available. I can feel my emotions without losing that strength about me, without losing that deterministic vision, that will to pull through it, right? Because the Chariot and the Strength both are like pulling through it on a very even enjoy challenge in a sense, right? And then there's that water energy in the middle, which is like, this is how you manifest that internal will of being in tune with your emotional body and your needs and all that stuff. It's not even about wands, there's no wands in there yet, but it's about you wanting to be able to open up and just opening up and just facing whatever fears are attached to that. You're not ignoring them, just look at them, your anxiety or your fear of not being heard or of being disregarded and whatever. You're just looking them dead in the eyes and like, so what? As long as I don't like pitch into it, as long as I'm not the one putting myself down, I can fucking handle it. That is very, very determined. You being in that Son of Cups mode, you want to be like that emotionally available and strong character that is just like, well, I kind of feel that way, right? And even if someone hurts you, you're like, well, this is not nice of you. I feel like this and that and this and that, and you still have that major arcana distance as the observer of your own inner world and of your own emotion, right? Because the Temperance and the Chariot and the Strength, they're like this triangle here that is guiding you through this experience. So that is the security in the back of your head. Is just like, I can withstand emotionally. I can withstand whatever life throws at me, right? Because you manage to bring balance to your body, to your life, and therefore to your mind, right? From that side, and that's very freaking beautiful. In the spot of the 7 is a Son of Swords and a Father of Pentacles, both in reverse. So how this manifests is a father and son relationship, right? And it's kind of delayed. Something is delaying that energy. which is funny because they're both delayed. They're both in like a sort of waiting position on like how to go about it. The sun is not exactly moving or trying to move and not exactly knowing where to, whatever. The Father of Pentacles is also, they're both looking away from each other since they're on like both in reverse. That is fucking interesting. So it seems like you're waiting on something to happen, and and it has to do with the bond between each other. I very much get this, the father and the son. This is like either you're the son or you're the father, or the mother or the daughter for that matter. It's all about energies. It's not about male, female, but rather masculine and feminine. This is both masculine energies. So someone in your reality, maybe you, wants to move, wants to progress things forward, and is still kind of struggling with how to go about it. And someone in your reality, maybe you, maybe the other person, is in a providing role and doesn't exactly know how to fulfill it because the other one hasn't made a move yet. There's like, okay, all I can do right now is just be there. And it's kind of stressing me out because I'm filled with love for the situation, for this person. I want things to come together here in the reality, right? So that is not only the bond between the father and the son energy, between that masculine provider and that masculine, driving force, in a sense, right? That them coming together. It could be that both of them are within you. So at some point you want to move, and you want to move to be a provider, right? That would be the narrative if that is both about you, and you want those energies to come together so you can be a provider for your loved ones. That is then the Two of Cups. So it's the things coming together so you can be there for other people, incorporating all of those energies with that Two of Cups. It is very much about dealing with the struggle of other people in a sense, and you're in yourself standing strong, holding that space for them. So as I said earlier about lashing out in a certain situation, it's more like in a situation where you would have lashed out or would have gotten anxious or stressed about, you're not doing that anymore, right? So that is the new moon aspect of that Leo energy, where you're like, okay, I know I have a leading role here, but actually I cannot, like, the grass is not going to grow faster the more you pull it, so I kind of have to ease into myself, own that role, own that there's nothing to do here right now but to hold space and to be ready when shit is actually coming together. Let's see what the father and son energy right here are balancing in the middle. Well, it's the Seven of Pentacles, so the fact that it's not moving is basically because, well, either the seeds are still planting, right? You're still like putting stuff together, because the seven of Pentacles is very much a preparation for the Eight of Pentacles, for the work card, basically, for getting like into business, right? Networking, getting out, putting yourself out there. And the Seven of Pentacles is still like strategizing, like putting seeds in the ground, putting like things into place, evaluating, all that stuff. So like, and either the venture, whatever it is about, is still struggling to put that strategy in place and refine old belief systems about strategizing that, right? So kind of still hanging on to past belief systems, but realizing that they've already changed, so you kind of have to address them to flip them around. Like father and son kind of wanting to come together to have a talk, right? But then somehow the talk is not exactly happening. They're just looking at each other and just like nodding, you know? So they're not actually communicating, but they are together working on that Seven of Pentacles to flip that around and like look into the future, build something. And they're going to come together in this energy, right? It's like a mutual understanding that is not exactly communicated about how much it actually means underneath the surface. right? Because this coming together, building something together, right? It has a lot to do with pride for another, right? And there's so much, LIBRA, there's so much love inside you for this situation. And you are like, you're challenged, and it seems like you're very much doing this, because it's surrounded by the Chariot and the Strength. Your challenge is to be in that Son of Cups mode. It's like to hold the space for the emotion that are kind of subtly, not suddenly, but subtly, like are woven into whatever is happening here on the Pentacles level, on the earth plane, right? So it seems very much like something is to be built, some stability is to be regained through something, through some preparation for a manifestation in this reality, right? So you're communicating about, yeah, it seems like a family matter, but I don't want to get too much hooked on the narrative. It's like you're communicating or caring about a situation in manifestation in the earth plane, trying to build something, but underneath the surface is not exactly about that. It is about gaining stability in that connection, gaining stability in bringing those sides together, the nurturer and the mindful drive, the strategist, right? And this very freaking interesting. It seems like you made a decision to not get stressed about it, to hold the space. You're totally in patience mode right here. Temperance is patience, is bringing balance to sustain patience, right? Because you know what you have from this is kind of like the longer it takes to build this, the more you have of this, right? Of this connection, of this determination, of this lovely exchange, loving exchange. That it seems like a family matter, like there's something underneath the surface of what you're actually communicating about. Could be it. If that is your energies coming together, you're trying to bring together the one that wants to move and the one that tries to learn patience and try to pick the right time to make a move. You're very determined and you got the strength to pull through that, right? And see how in that DNA spread the energies are moving into each other, like transforming into each other, like the one is going into the 2 and the 4. Like this is one line and this is one line. So the 10 of Swords in reverse is transformed into strength. It's like, okay, like all this stressing out, you decided against it. But again, like you're drawing a lot of strength from being able to fuck with that, and also to having made the decision to not stress about it anymore. It gets you back into your strength, into the courage of just like, whatever, man, bring it, just bring it. And then this strength card is moving, or is being brought into the role of that Father of Pentacles, where you're like, okay, my challenge is to be a provider of some sense, to provide some stability, and I don't know exactly how to. But I'm not going to stress out about it, right? That's what I learned already. I'm not going to stress out about it. I'm just going to enjoy the process of like trying to take on that role. And on the other hand, you're coming from a place of stability, which gets you into the Chariot, into that determination and ready to go kind of energy, right? The Chariot is like, okay, when do we start? Because on the traditional card, it's not moving, but on this one also, it's a horse, right? Sometimes it's 2 horses, right? The Chariot, there is an element of balance in there as well, usually. On this one, not so much so, but since this is all about keeping your inner balance, it's so beautiful that you have the strength in the Chariot, which is kind of a Leo and a Cancer energy. So a sun and a moon balancing out within each other, like within your abyss, in your spiritual challenge, in what you're like your inner toolkit to manage the situation is the Chariot and the Strength. It's best of both worlds. That is so Libra. That is so you. And that Chariot is then feeding into that Son of Swords energy. It's like, whenever you're ready, I'm ready, right? Whenever that Son of Swords knows what to do, the Chariot's gonna pick up and go for it, drive forward. But the cool thing about this is that this is a connection that is very much rooted in love, and you are emotionally holding the space for that, because you know it's not exactly about what's happening on the surface. It does matter, right? But what's happening on the surface is so important for the love underneath, for both of the sides, for the one moving and for the one providing, right? The one wanting to integrate that provider, be like a role model in a sense, right? And be there for this other aspect of self, which is the Son of Swords, which wants to build something, start moving, make sound and quick decisions. But it's actually, both of them are kind of waiting for finally getting it going, right? And the challenge about this is, well, sort of getting out of your head and just doing it, right? But also, timing is always divine. So you're keeping the balance, holding the space, and sustaining the patience here for that father and son to come together in perfect harmony about whatever they're building together. This, for some, this is quite literal. I know for me it's quite literal, like literal fuckingly, father or son dynamic. Doesn't have to be though, I just like underline it. It can be that you're trying to bring together the need for being a provider, even for stability for yourself, and then trying to make a decision on how to get there, that's also true for myself. Like, I'm trying to make quick, sound decisions on how to become that Father of Pentacles myself, to provide for myself and maybe whoever that is going to share my life. And if that's like, getting into that role, maturing into that role in a very earthly manner. Okay, so that's it for the light. Anyway, we got the sun right here. We got the moon right here. All good. So Libra, that is a very, very beautiful energy, and it seems like you're managing that Leo new moon energy really well, in the sense that you're just very, very relaxed in who you are, in holding that space, in providing that balance. You're like, whatever happens, I'm here if you need me. I don't know exactly what I can do about it, but I'm here, right? And being very sure-footed in that statement, in that role, and that is a very beautiful energy to be in. So the temperance here is not about learning that patience, but you kind of already mastered it. You're in the process of like turning this around and just being there. That is a very, very, very beautiful energy. Own it. Claim it in the comments, Libra. If that resonated for you, drop a comment, like and subscribe. If the message didn't resonate for you, drop the message. Of course, hit me up. I'd love to have some feedback. Check out daywalker-bali.com. Daywalker-bali.com is where I'm going to put up all the stuff about the tarot deck that I'm building. And yeah, keep track of it. Stay tuned and enjoy this energy, Libra. I love you.